As above, so below. As above, so below. We're going to explore the mystery, the metaphysics, and some of the mechanics of the law of attraction, a universal principle. And this is for the purpose of us applying this universal principle for greater benefit for ourselves individually, but also for the collective. So does that sound good? Oh, thank you. Good. Yes, it does sound good. And I'm really touched that this is, I think I'm the final speaker in the series on revisiting the law of attraction. And I really want to honor Creative Living Fellowship and Reverend Sherry. So when there is a principle that is universal, and Reverend Sherry said it in one of her first talks, she said, the law of attraction is a natural law. And the way she said it and the confidence and the commitment with which she said it, I like that was a complete teaching. When we realize something is a natural law or a universal principle, what it means is it's inherently unlimited. And if something's unlimited, it's worthy of our continued exploration. There's a beginning use of it, intermediate, and advanced. And when something is a universal principle, it also means that it is blessedly impersonal, which means that the law of attraction is we're using it right now. It's raining on the just and the unjust. The principle can work for all of us. So that's another reason that it's worthy of us to continue to dive into. I really want to honor, we're going to start with the mystery, and I really want to honor Reverend Mary Jane for doing the reading from Hermes Trismegistus, which is a little bit of a tongue twister. So I discovered Hermes Trismegistus is this Greek Egyptian, either one writer or probably a group of writers, that to me, there's a poetry in the synthesis teaching called the Emerald Tablet. And it's the father of it is the sun, the mother of it is the moon, its power is perfected. So what I love about this, the mystery of metaphysical laws, is that think about ancient peoples who observed the panoply of what is occurring in the skies. The presence of the sun, the presence of the moon, it's appearing and disappearing, and the power of it. That looking to the heavens to behold powers that seem mysterious, then informed those peoples about the powers that we participate with. So I love that as a way to think. When we engage with laws, how powerful they are. And then finally, we get the direction, ascend from the earth into the sky, and again, descend from the sky to the earth. And that's the direction of how these laws occur. So we love Hermes Trismegistus, like thrice great Hermes. Let us begin then. I'd like you to select an issue or a prayer request or an intention and apply these ideas about the law of attraction to that. So for me, lately, the last couple of years, I have been very attuned to participating in the political world around us and doing it in a way that I stick with my spiritual values and I take actions that I feel moved to take. And I will tell you, friends, this is a place of practice, right? I mean, please, it is an opportunity. It's like, or Dr. Ernest Holmes says, we can look a discordant fact in the face and see through to the truth. And so when one rolls up her pretty sleeves and goes to work and do something in the political realms, you get discordant facts appearing willy-nilly. So it's a great place of practice for me. So choose something for you. So my intention is I would like to be about more inclusiveness, collaboration, and harmony in our governance. Like, I'm very interested in that. So choose something in your mind. So this is not an abstract conversation. So choose something, like it could be a personal desire for greater healing, could be something in the community, it could be something for a family member, or some, work or money or profession related. It could be a mystical desire to know God more. Just choose something, and we will work with it in 3 ways. And we'll begin with what I would call the awe of the above. And I'm using an image here of an Egyptian pyramid. In last November, me and the big fella, Bill, went on a trip to Egypt with a group called Soul of Egypt. And it was trip of a lifetime. It was fantastic. It was a small group. And we were blessed by having a classical Egyptologist and a young man who had a very open mind, but he would share with us classic archaeological, historical facts and ideas as we were at the Red Pyramid or seeing various sites. And then we also had with us a mystical, I would hippie is one of the best ways to say it, but a mystical hippie guy who is from a spiritual area in northern Italy called Domenher, where they are super on the mystical side of things. And this gentleman was sharing with us perspectives on what was happening in Egypt as being mystical sharings of the people of Atlantis, like, that kind of point of view. So wherever I'm not trying to enroll you in any particular belief system. I'm just saying we loved it because we would stand there, inside a small chamber inside the pyramid. And it was suggested to us that this enormous structure was not just a crypt, but could have been a power generator. It could have been used for so many different things. And that these structures, magnificent as we can see above, some would say they're built so that the same distance and depth exists below. Like, isn't that cool? And what was also wonderful in terms of awe is that the most literal physics-based person in the world has to kind of go, oh, how are these like perfectly cut 12-sided 2-ton stones that are from 1,000 kilometers away in Aswan? How did they make it here? It was not reed boats and workers with ropes. Something happened. So Egypt gave me a chance to go, there's something greater. It's mysterious. It's larger than just logic and history. And I call us all into that. So, whatever the issue is that you're working with, if you believe that the divine, that spirit, is the three omnis that we teach in religious science, omnipotent, that there is a power that is all power that we can connect with, omnipresent, that the presence of the divine of God is everywhere present, and omniscient, that it is an all-knowing, all information and intelligence is there in the divine, then for whatever your issue, challenge, prayer request, there's something magnificent in the above that can inform the thing that you care about. I encourage you to use the tools of travel, reading, fellowship, visioning, those practices that open, music is a great one, that open you to the feeling, the energy, and the possibility of something greater to infuse the thing that you are focused on. So will you join me? We'll do a little mudra with our arms here. Just take your arms, tilt your head slightly up, and just go, yeah, give it a little That is the awe. All right, you can drop it. Good job. That is the awe of the above. That will help to open the mind, heart, and spirit and energy into something a greater possibility for the thing that you desire. So we are in awe of the above. And for the metaphysical part of it, we're going to work with our minds. And so I've brought the image here of the Science of Mind teaching symbol, the round circle, meaning that there's one infinite, unending reality, the round circle. Some will call that the principle of love, that God is all there is and everywhere present. And then in the center of the circle, there's the V, the descending V, which is the symbol that reminds us of law that consciousness creates. And for those of you that are students of religious science, you know that there's the idea of spirit, soul, and body, those three areas. Spiritual ideas acted upon by the law of mind, soul, result in experiences of the body, human experiences. And so, and there are teachers, master teacher Jesus said, "It is done unto you as you believe." That the word as in that sentence is really consciousness creates. In addition, so the law of attraction is one of the laws of mind and action where the content of our consciousness gets, as Reverend Sherry said, reflected or reproduced. And the law works automatically, and the law works with consistency. So, our job working with our minds is to be cognizant and deliberate about the content of our consciousness. Consciousness is patterns of thinking. Consciousness is the content of our thought, our emotional reaction to it, the conversation we have about it within us and around us, held in place by repetition and intensity. And I'll say that again, because it's a good way for us to think about what the heck am I working with in terms of what I'm creating. Consciousness is thought, emotional reaction, conversation held in place by repetition and intensity. That's what creates the patterns of thinking that reproduce in our lives. And I had an experience, this was 30 years ago. So it was somewhere in the 90s. I was a new student of the science of mind. I was at the Agape Center in Los Angeles, and I was taking classes there. And professionally, I would travel around. I still do this to this day. I travel around as a subcontractor corporate trainer. So I had been flown to a place in Texas. I was with an oil company teaching a customer service class. And one of the exercises we did is we'd tell the people, you're already an expert in customer service. And that's because you've had experiences where you've had good service and bad service. And when you've had one of those experiences, you can then apply that to you being a good customer service person. So group, who's had a bad experience in service? Oh. So this gal raised her hand and she said, well, I got some bad gas at the XYZ station. And when I went back there to talk to them about it, they were not cooperative and they didn't help me. And the whole room of people at this oil and gas company were like, oh my goodness, you had bad gas and didn't get any help with it. Oh, and they were just appalled. And I was standing there with this moment of, because I'd never heard of bad gas. Bad gas. Bad gas apparently is a thing where you get gas that is not good. Like it has bubbles in it, or there's something wrong with the gas, and you would know it when you got it, and then you would be appalled, and then I guess you would go back to the station and get your money, or they'd get some kind of good response. But in that moment, it wasn't just about the bad gas. I had this huge awareness. If a thing is not real for me in my mind, it does not exist. And I got to see, like, what if all these years I'd been the victim of bad gas and didn't know it? What if I'd been driving around with this inferior gas that they speak of so confidently here? And it was just this complete awareness of like, where else, hello, is that happening? What if I did not believe that a boyfriend or girlfriend could reject me and it would mean something about me? What if I just didn't even have that in my belief system? Then if it happened, it didn't happen. So are you all catching this? It's like, it's only real if we say it's real. So that in our teaching is sometimes called the mental equivalent, or the development of our consciousness. And especially in today's world, and like with the topic I'm working with, I'm scrolling, don't tell anybody, but I'm scrolling Twitter and, getting outraged sometimes, right? And I know I shouldn't, because it's like, and don't read the comments, girl, don't read the comments, right? So if if I'm reading it, it's making it real for me. Like there's a way I can care about the topics and the issues and the causes that I believe in and be informed about them without making the outrage reality part of my mind. So for the thing that you're working with, what are you filling your mind with that is becoming real for you? And we definitely can work to expand and develop mental equivalents that are about the things that we want. So I love that I saw the prayer for supply is out there, that Creative Living Fellowship is very committed to that statement about supply. Like those are the kinds of things. It's affirmations and prayer. This is the place when we're working with the mind. All right. No bad gas in your life ever. Okay. And then finally, spirit, soul, body. What do we do with our behaviors and actions? So what I've got here, it says for the below, if it's as above or in awe, if we're working with our minds, with the below, earth, human, action, that's where we can change our behaviors to be in alignment with the thing we desire. So this is and the inspiration here is the 12-step programs. So I came into spirituality through recovery 30 something years ago. And what was beautiful is I was coming into the spiritual religious science teaching where we say, change your thinking, change your life. So you change the thought and the action then follows in that idea. And simultaneously, I was in recovery where it was act your way into right thinking. Both are valuable. So the 12-step programs is a beautiful example of refrain from the behavior or the substance, do these spiritual steps, say a prayer, go to a meeting, help another person who's suffering, and those actions will create a sense of a spiritual experience, will create a mindset of sobriety and serenity and well-being. And so the discovery of spirituality comes through the change in behavior. And so when we're really cooperating in a very intelligent way with the laws of attraction, we are doing all three. We are looking to see in the area of your topic, what are the behaviors you can take? Like, hey, girl, stop scrolling the comments in Twitter. What are the actions you can take that will line you up with the thing you desire? So for your topic, if what you're looking for is forgiveness with a family member, maybe you can stop rerunning stories about them or doing side comments to your spouse about that person. You can change your behavior. If you want more peace and harmony in your workplace, you can be the one who picks up the trash in the break room and does it with a smile. Like, just see how you can take an action so you are the thing that you want to create. Okay. So we've given you different perspectives on how to work with the law of attraction. And I'll close here with this another piece from the Hermes Trismegistus. So the writers say, by this means, you will acquire the glory of the whole world, and you will drive away all shadows and blindness. So by this means of being in awe of the above, working with our minds and changing behaviors, we bring such light to our world. And what I want to say to you all is that you absolutely are already being supported by the law of attraction. And now I invite us all to be even more inspired and excellent in our use of it. All right. Peace and blessings, everybody. Yes. Yes. Good conversation. And we will anchor this message with a spiritual mind treatment, which is our form of affirmative prayer. So if you choose, take a deep breath, release it. You can soften the eye. And how grateful I am that we are rising up in awareness to the high place, the awe of the infinite, all powerful, ever present, all intelligence, where the qualities of supply and peace and justice, abundance, freedom, joy, truth, beauty, these qualities are revealing themselves as me, as all, as all. So each and every individual who is connected to this prayer in this moment and any moment is lifted into this loving, unified embrace. Indeed, we are one, and the one is good. And from this awareness, I speak a word, claiming and accepting that for every beloved member and friend of the Creative Living Fellowship, that there is an enhancement of God awareness and God revelation in all aspects of being. So relationships are healed and bodies are vibrant and abundance is flowing and care is being given and received and good is circulating in, through, and as the entire community. I'm grateful for this, and I also recognize and bless all spiritual beings, people, brothers, sisters, family, friends, all individuals who are on a spiritual path. We just behold with such respect and love. And knowing that this prayer is a blessing to our city, state, valley, country, world, all worlds, all beings, all places, we give great thanks for the law that says yes. We are grateful as we let it be. We release the prayer, and together we say, and so it is.